Football League World is reporting that Derby County have joined the hunt for Brazilian defender David Sousa. He is a defender who is 23 years of age, currently playing for RWD in the Belgium second division. And it could be a move which sees Derby County move really to a back three when you look at the players available. And obviously you look at some of the players who are going to come back as well. And it's a very, very interesting move by that of Derby County. Now, it is also being reported that David Sousa has already seen a bid rejected of around €1 million, around £850,000 from Swansea City already in this transfer window, which sort of makes this deal a little bit of a difficult one and one that is also quite expensive. Now, obviously, he would add to Derby County's centre-back department, but where else could he play and will he fit in with the Rams? Now, obviously, you can have your say down in the comments, so make sure you let me know your thoughts down below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. But shall we get into it? Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Now, Derby County have joined Coventry City, Middlesbrough, QPR and Swansea in the race for this Brazilian star. Now, obviously, when we're looking at this deal, we've got to look at what Derby County already have in the building. You look in that centre-back position, you've got Curtis Nelson, Sondre Langas, Matt Clark and Danny Bart, as well as obviously Jake Rooney as well. And it's one of those where you've even got Craig Forsyth who can step in. You've got Ryan Nyambe who can step into that position as well. But what I think is really important for Derby County, especially when looking at this deal, is sort of the fact that in that centre-back role, you've got realistically, the only longevity we've really got is with Sondre Langas and maybe Matt Clark. Obviously, Matt Clark coming towards his 30s. You've got Sondre Langas who's in his mid-20s. And the introduction of David Sousa would certainly give Derby County another defender who they can build forward with, which for me, I think is massively, massively important as we move towards the future. And obviously, it then gives us sort of replacements. Like, when we get to the end of this season, contracts expiring for Danny Bart and for Curtis Nelson, Derby County already have David Sousa there to step up, or if he hasn't already overtaken them. You've also got Jake Rooney in there as well, who can sort of play a role in that. You've got Matt Clark around the scene as well. Now, obviously, Derby County aren't going to be handing out transfers willy-nilly. They aren't going to be spending money that they don't have. Now, with it already being reported that £1 million bid has been rejected from Swansea City and the deal hasn't progressed any further since that disagreement in value, I think it's really interesting to see sort of how Derby County could get this deal done. Now, if we do look at sort of his career and we look at his past year, in the course of the 24-25 season, he played 30 games, scoring 3 goals, collecting 2 assists and 6 yellow cards across the course of 2,649 minutes. All of those games coming in centre-back. But if we look at his overall career, he's made 85 appearances, 6 goals, 3 assists and 15 yellow cards, with 61 appearances at centre-back and 2 appearances at left-back. Now, he's contracted with the Belgian team until June of 2026. So obviously there's a deal there to be done. He's valued at around €700,000 according to that of Transfer Market. But as we already know, a bid of €1 million has already been rejected. Now, for me, I think the important thing with this deal is, and it's something which people might not notice, is they haven't really looked into the player. He is a left-footed centre-half, which I think is massively important. We've got Matt Clark there already, but there's no sort of ready-made replacements at Derby County. There's no one who, should Matt Clark get injured, apart from Craig Forsyth, who could step in at left centre-back, there's no proper left centre-back who could sort of take that role with the left foot ability and things like that, which I think is really important for the balance of the back four. Now, obviously, when we're looking at this deal, 23 years old, probably got another 12 years left in pro football, injury dependent, blah, blah. And that's obviously an important thing to figure out, because if he's obviously 23, so there's room to progress still. And that sort of opens the door for Derby County to sort of, if they do end up sealing this transfer, which is a possibility, it gives them the opportunity that David Sousa could grow with Derby County, and not only could he then become a top championship defender, if Derby County were to get promoted, there's no saying that he couldn't then become a defender that's good enough to challenge in the Premier League. And I think what's important for Derby County is when we're bringing in these players, especially ones from abroad, it's opening that door to ROI, return of investment. And that is what Derby County need on any player that they bring in. Obviously, at the moment, you look at the players who've already bought in this transfer window. Richard O'Donnell, Carlton Morris, Danny Barr and Andreas Weimann. Sell-on value isn't really there. And I believe Carlton Morris is the only one we've actually paid for. But you bring in a player like David Sousa, who's 23 years old. In 2 or 3 years, he could be worth double, triple, 10 times that if he plays well. And that's obviously the important thing. You look at someone like Kenzo Heldmine, who in my opinion is another one of those players who can obviously sort of step up to that next level, and then he can see a return of investment for Derby County. You look at Corey Blackett-Taylor. We've seen it all before. One good championship season can get you a £5 million move, and that's obviously important for Derby as they sort of try and progress with the current routine that they're going with under the ownership of David Clowes. Now, obviously, I've got no hard feelings, no negative feelings towards David Clowes. He's been a fantastic owner for Derby County, but we know that the money is a little bit sort of tight when it comes to Derby County. I'm not saying there isn't budget there, because we know, based on the discussions had with Stephen Pearce and what's been put out to the media, we know there's money there, and especially with a £5 million bid being in for Patrick Agyemang. But what is important is making sure that eventually Derby County do bring in that investment. And obviously that doesn't just come from players being sold, it also comes from David Clowes potentially giving up a share or letting people in the door as well. And I think that would then obviously help our transfer window. And a player like David Sousa wouldn't think twice about joining another club if Derby County had that proper financial backing, in my opinion. Now, obviously, it's very much something which will be discussed on and on and on as Derby County fans until that some investment move is really made, or Derby County are sort of really showing that they're a powerhouse in that financial respect, which obviously at the moment we don't seem to be. Now, I think David Sousa could be a brilliant signing. Left-footed centre-half. Worst case scenario, can play at left-back as well. We've seen Cashin's played out there once or twice. We've seen Liam Thompson play out there once or twice. We've seen that on occasion, a left-footed player, just shove him in full-back, shove him in wing-back. They can do the job, and I think it's very important for Derby County to keep an eye on this one. Hopefully, maybe a deal can get done, but obviously I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. With other clubs interested, Coventry City, Middlesbrough, Swansea, and I believe QPR, it makes this deal just a little bit more difficult. Now, obviously, you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell, and I'll catch you in my next video. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.